The opinion and the lesson, yes. Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
What's going on, everybody? You know what time it is. Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, being joined today by Rob. Rob is always ever so helpful on Wednesday nights with the food, but he stays away from the podcast. Why, I don't know. He hates me, I think. But we also have BJ in the house, BJ from Run the Ropes. What's up, BJ?
What's going on, man?
Chilling. We got some people joining in. Guys, make sure you spread the word. You can do that very easily, and it's free. I don't even ask for money except for when it's Jesus. I don't ask for any money. So all you guys have to do is hit the like button, share the video. It could be Twitter, Facebook, wherever you like to do your social media stuff at. Share it. Tell someone right now to come in. You know a lot of AEW peeps. Bring them on in. So make sure you guys show some love. We're going to be talking full gear, the whole rundown, preview, predictions, the show, all that and more. So before we get into this, we got to handle some podcast business. Guys, I need people trimmed up coming into this wonderful Thanksgiving season. The lawnmower. Rob, do you have anything you want to say about the lawnmower? Are you a fan?
Smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter. Call it parquet. So we need you guys to make sure you guys can get yourselves some nice lawnmowers at manscaped.com using our promo code EPW show. Put that in, you'll get 20% off and free delivery. Eric just used it and sent some pictures in telling me that thank you for the code. Really helped out with the pricing. So I appreciate that. If I can help, I will. And we're all wrestling fans here. So if you guys want to go to powerslam.tv, put in our promo code, you get 1 free month of independent wrestling on us. So put that code in and show us some love, man. Show us some love, and they know about it. BJ,
Hey, I have one thing to add to your ad there.
What do you got?
It might, weather-wise, it might not be the best time to start mowing outside, but that doesn't mean you can't use a lawnmower inside.
New marketing VP for Everything Pro Wrestling, Derek, you're fired. Yeah.
I got a question.
What's up?
What kind of pictures was Eric sending you?
It was not of the twigs and berries. It was more of the nature of I got the great products. Boom. Pretty cool. I can put them on the screen for proof. If anybody needs proof, I can put them on the screen, I swear. Oh, it won't load. But let's get into some full gear. We got some people joining up slowly. Azan, thank you for joining up. Appreciate it. Ray, what is going on, Ray? Ray, I've been watching your Chucky reviews, man. Really good stuff, bro. I like what you guys are doing. So I got to give you a shout out for that. John L. Jackson's also in the house. What's up, John L? Appreciate you. Randy Sam has joined us as well. Thank you, guys. Like I said, share the link, spread the love. I know 3 o'clock is a different time than you're used to seeing from me, but there's going to be a lot of different shit that you're not used to seeing from me, so get used to it. Boom. BJ, full gear. I got you and Rob on. I want to talk this show.
All right.
Thoughts overall going into this show. We had I thought, a nice home run. Not like a grand slam or anything, but it was a nice home run, I thought, to the go-home show.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that heavily. Over the course of the last month and a half, really, of the build, there are matches that I thought were going to feel bigger, that I was more excited for, that I'm not, and ones that came later that I knew would be really good, but now I'm they're one of my most see things. So it's been weird. It's been interesting. The things that I thought were going to be super important to me ended up not being as important, minus one match in particular. So
okay, all right, this is gonna be an interesting talk. Rob, I want to have you give your thoughts as well.
I've enjoyed the build to this show as a whole. I do like the way the matches individually built themselves up. Take for instance CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Who would have cared about that? I would say 3-4 weeks ago. They've done more work in 1 week than certain other programs. I'm not going to name names.
Yet.
To get you invested into that feud.
Yeah, touche. I always look at some of the matchups on here, and I always rank them kind of as from what could be match of the night. I always give a sleeper match though, something that will surprise you more than likely for how good it will be. And there's just so many good things on this card, and we're talking. And if you guys in the chat have your predictions, your thoughts on anything, feel free, add them in. Can't wait to hear about it. Azan says Jungle Boy needs Manscaped for Miss J.
Wow.
Jungle Boy's growing out the hair, if you haven't noticed. Welcome
right.
to the jungle. But
Jungle Boy becoming Jungle Man.
Exactly. He's got to let it rock, man.
I'm telling you, man, there's money in Hollywood, Jack Lee.
Did that picture?
Jack Lee.
Did that
Jack
picture?
Perry.
Did that picture have layers? Ray just sent me. Matt Lopez says, "Good afternoon. What's up, Matt? Thank you for coming on in. I appreciate you." Hey, Ray, no problem with the support, man. I love the podcast you guys do. Full Gear. This might be the best Full Gear this year.
Well,
Chad says, "What's up to all of us?" What's up, Chad?
What's going on?
TK list was spot on. Okay, almost.
There he is.
Hey Zeus, where's my hundo? What's up, Jesus?
CJ, baby, I got your money. We're gonna get sued.
ODB won't care, man. So
Wow.
what? He won't.
He's dead.
I'm just saying. The man also was taking money from EBT, like on MTV live. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So let's get into this card. If you guys had to pick an opener for the show, let's get the buy-in.
I was like, there's a buy-in match, right?
Yes. Where is it? Boom, right here. I was shocked at this addition to the show yesterday for the buy-in, because I was trying to think to myself what would be a good buy-in match. And I thought you would go with like Deeb and Sheeta, possibly something else, but they went a different route here, and they went with tournament matches that are going to be happening in the future with Nyla Rose and Sheeta, Thunder Rosa and Jamie Hayter. There's a story that's going to be told, I think, with these matches. BJ, what do you think of the buy-in matches first?
So when that match was first announced, I saw a lot on Twitter of people saying that should be a main card match and not a buy-in match. But understandably, because this is a preview to later on tournament. So for me, I'm like, yeah, it makes total sense to be a buy-in. I think it's going to be good. It'll be interesting to see how these teams work together, because it's two singles matches put into a tag, which is not something they normally do. But we've not seen the dynamics between either set of teams. So it'll be interesting just to see how that comes out, or if it ends up being like complete chaos by the end because they're all competing for the TBS title.
Yeah, when you look at the players in this, like Nyla, I'm going to put them up on the screen here. Nyla is pretty selfish in my mind. Like, she's a selfish individual with Vicky Guerrero. You have Jamie Hayter, who's kind of the muscle, I'll say, for Dr. Britt Baker. Thunder Rosa stands out on her own, and she's kind of been facing her setbacks, lose a big match, got to go back up the ladder again. And Hikaru Shida is kind of on this tale of redemption that they've been telling. First women to reach 50 wins, but can she elevate herself to become the first women's TBS champion? I don't know. Very interesting thoughts. Rob?
I hope they don't go with the old hat of are they going to be able to coexist?
Oh, yeah.
They all got the same goal in mind at the end of this tournament. So what is their focus going to be on more? Winning this match or preserving themselves for their tournament matches?
For the record, though, it's not AEW's fault why that
I know.
that trope exists.
Yeah.
Not blaming other companies, but you've abused it. So, BJ, who are you taking to get this W?
I'm going with Thunder Rosa and Sheeta. It's a buy-in match. You're going to have baby faces start the show off with a win, making the crowd amped even more. That's, from an overview. From storyline-wise, you might have a little bit of the heels trying to preserve themselves more for the tournament. So maybe you even have someone like walk out on the other person. It's not a can they coexist. It's just a straight up like, hey, I got a tournament match. I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, and we saw how Britt Baker likes to help out, so maybe Jamie Hayter pulls the same thing.
Yeah.
Who you got, Rob?
Building off what you said, we kind of saw something like this last night in that Pac and Dax Harwood match.
Mm-hmm.
He goes for the submission. He taps out right away to preserve himself for the greater good, or not greater good, but like the bigger picture, I should say.
Logical tag team booking.
Before I give my prediction, I just hope Tony Khan has learned his lesson about giving in to fans' demands about bumping a match from the pre-show to the main card with that whole dentist office match. Was god awful.
Listen,
if it's on the pre-show, he's put it there for a reason.
Listen, sometimes the people do it to themselves. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but my prediction going into this match, I'm gonna go with Jamie Hayter and Nyla Rose. I know it's a pre-show match. You want to start the crowd out hot, have a good reaction going in, but I just feel like the tournament's gonna come into play with this. Like, oh, we gotta make sure we look better going in to our more important match. So let's just get in there, wreck shop, get out.
I feel like, so I'm going to make a weird prediction, piggybacking off of both of you. So when we look at this buy-in matchup, you can see Nyla Rose on one side. I do believe that the baby faces are going to win this, Thunder Rosa and Shida, but I'm going to give you some bold predictions the other way. And I'm finally going to probably say this out loud. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but first, Shida and Nyla Rose. I believe Shida is going to lose to Nyla Rose, even if it's by help with Serena Deeb. I think Nyla Rose is going to move on the TBS Women's Championship tournament. I think she needs the victory way more than Shida does. Shida's already established as credible. You could put the title back on her pretty instantly, I would say, and I don't think there should be a problem with it. The bigger picture, though, is Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, so everybody's been saying this Britt Baker stuff. They're telling a story here with the interference and the not helping. At Revolution, I'm calling it now, there will be a steel cage match. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, and it's going to keep out Rebel and Jamie Hayter. And this is going to be Thunder Rosa's big moment. You heard it. I'm telling you, I've been feeling this probably since All Out, I want to say. So that's going to be your big matchup between those two, and I think it's going to be great. First women's cage match, they're going to have that honor. It's going to be good stuff. That's my opinion. Baby faces win. Buy in, buy it, watch it, enjoy it.
Is Shida's knee going to play a role in this? Remember, she has an injury.
Yeah, I think so. I think Deeb's going to be the
I'm sticking with rematch. I'm sticking with the heels.
Hold on here. We got some predictions. Man, they were going in. Where were we? Jesus Conrad needs his $100. Tell him, Chad, I don't play about my money, man. You got money for fake mustaches? You better have my money, Jesus. Nyla Rose has been building up a little group on Dark lately. Team Thunder Rosa for the win. Thunder Rosa for the win. Team Nyla will win due to Serena Deeb costing Shida. We've got some mix in here. Jamie Hayter should have teamed with Jade. Jade ain't available for everybody. Smart Mark Sterling's not going for that.
You got to pay Jade to play.
I say Jade versus Ruby or Thunder Rosa in the finals. I could see either one of those. But I think it's going to be Jade and Ruby looking at the brackets. Sup, Kyra BJ? I got Nyla and Jamie winning. I'm telling you why, because I can see both ways. Serena Deeb and costing Shida the win. Also have Anna Jay help Rosa pick up the win. Okay. Random, Chad. Peaches match. Chad, we got to talk about your problem here. We got to talk about this.
Is it a problem?
No, not at all. BJ, do you like Jamie Hayter? Jason, you asked the wrong question on this podcast.
I may well have quite the crush on Jamie Hayter. So
does Rob, and he just said he's a huge Rey Mysterio fan.
Me too. One of the best.
I think Ruby Soho winning the tournament, and I would have Dr. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa steel cage match at Revolution. Malik Murray, layup, brother. It's a layup. I'm telling you. What's good, E? Thank you for joining. If you guys haven't, make sure you hit that like button on the video. If you're listening to the podcast episode, kick back, go get yourself a snack, get a drink, chill out. We're good. We're gonna be talking this whole full gear show. Opening matchup for this. What do you guys like?
I think we open with the recently added match, Cody and Pac versus Andrade and Malakai Black. I keep wanting to say Alistair, man.
Team Zelina.
So,
what do you think, BJ? What do you open up the card with?
I'm torn on that. I think they might maybe surprise and give us MJF and Darby.
Really? I'm going different. I think they open up with Miro and Bryan Danielson. Ooh. I think that's what did you think? Tag?
I was gonna go with the trios match.
Oh,
The only reason I say that is because of the Young Bucks. They like to get their stuff in first.
They could
That's
gas
true.
it up, but I think they could be a nice. I think you go with Miro and Bryan. So I'm gonna let one of you guys pick. What match do you want to start off with? Someone just throw one out.
You know what? Go MJF and Darby.
Ooh,
I don't want to talk that.
ooh, this is gonna be tough. So we've got one of the biggest baby faces out here. He's your friend from 7th grade. You love him. It's Darby Allin. This dude skateboards. He's awesome. He likes Tony Hawk. Cool. Then we've got the douche kid that everybody hated that was on the basketball team, the football team. Nobody likes him. He's perfect, and everything just works out for him every single time. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. This is one of the toughest matches, in my opinion, to call because both guys are pillars. They talk about these pillars all the time, and these two are cemented, I think, as the two for out of the four, we'll say, for the pillars of who to build around. MJF has the gift to gab. He's great in the ring. He can do all the flippy stuff that you need him to do, but he doesn't because he doesn't give a shit about it because he doesn't need to. Then you've got Darby, who's just the opposite. No care for the world. This dude is modern day Sabu. Like, he does not give a shit about you, himself, or anything else. Like, he's going to do whatever. I love it. I don't know who to pick for this one. Rob, I'm coming to you first. What do you think of this matchup?
You say it's hard to pick this one. I'm going, it's a layup for MJF.
Really? Why so?
Because he doesn't wrestle enough to where it's like he doesn't have that established record. So I feel like he has this win in the bag.
Okay, what's up, SC Williams?
I think he's next up to be pushed to that stratosphere. So I'm going MJF.
Okay. All right, BJ, I'm coming to you.
I gotta go MJF too. When it comes to them talking about the pillars, I agree with the four that they listed. You could build a lot around. I'm afraid, in general, that one of the four pillars might crumble before the others, and that might
wait. Are you just saying in general one of the four will, or are you saying there's a specific one?
A specific one, and that might be Darby because he throws himself caution to the wind. It might end up biting him before it bites the others. So in this, not only for that purpose, later on maybe telling a story down the road, but also I can't see MJF losing to him right now.
I love Azan. Thank you for putting that in there. That video came out actually after me and MJF had a very bad Twitter interaction at an independent show I was covering that he was on. And that video came out afterwards. I'm like, oh, yeah, real nice, buddy. Nice video I found of you. Delete that. Rosie O'Donnell took advantage of me. Good stuff. I'm going to make this a trifecta. I think MJF has to get the victory as well, but not for the reasons you guys said. I think MJF is on a path that I see him going towards, which involves a bigger championship, a championship that's sitting behind me, actually. The AEW world title. I think we can start getting ready to gear him up to go that way. So interesting take. So that's the first one. We got all three of us agreeing.
I will say this is one of those matches where I said I thought it would be a much bigger deal and doesn't feel as big going in as it did when things were first starting with it.
Okay. All right. We got Azan saying MJF for the win. Jason Michael says MJF. Chad, though, comes in and says Darby Allin for the win. I think the lights will get turned off for a few minutes. Lights will come back on, and Sting is standing behind MJF. I'm just saying. So he thinks Sting's going to play a role in this one.
What about Wardlow?
The War Dog's always around.
Or the chairman.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
Sean Spears.
The
accountability buddy.
God, I just botched that really bad.
That's all right. If Casey was in here, he'd be telling me to drink water.
You drinking your water?
I'm actually over where I'm supposed to be with the time frames on it. I just bought one of those big gallon jugs with the times on it.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to the Pro Wrestling Shoot. If you guys haven't checked them out on Spotify and YouTube now, make sure you guys give them some love as well, man. Appreciate Jesse and James, the road dogs at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Let's see here. Matt Lopez says, I think Darby wins. Darby hasn't won big time matches compared to MJF. This is true. FTR cost MJF and joined Andrade. Watch, Conrad. Eric coming with a bold prediction.
Wow.
Say yeah.
I think FTR got their hands full enough.
Yeah. which I can't. When we get into that match, I got something to say about that one a little bit, mainly about Derek because I think he's tripping. So, getting into the next matchup here, let's go with what Rob said. I don't know why. I want to talk this tag match. Pac and Cody, the People's Champion, versus Malakai Black and Andrade El Idolo. Unless they start calling him Andrei again, like Andre the Seal from those Disney movies. I hated that one. I was like, what the hell is so hard about saying this man's name? It's Andrade. BJ, coming to you, bro. Cody Rhodes. First, I need your thoughts on Cody. Is Cody, like you said, you enjoyed booing him last night in the chat.
Yeah, I do. So he has done nothing wrong in the sense of why he's getting all this hate. I feel like I understood the direction it was heading to start the hate, but he kind of slowed that down. It kind of tapered off. So yeah, it's all right. But people are still just like booing him out the building despite him like wanting to be a face. So like, I'm just saying everything's Cody's fault at this point, and I try to tie everything to being all pinned on Cody, even though I actually have nothing against Cody. I just find it funny. I'm in it for the joke now at this point. But you know,
mean. It's just mean.
You know, Cody being a man of the people. You saw it last night on Dynamite. He came down through the crowd. He was getting a chili dog and saw what was happening on the monitor, and just he had to stop what he was doing.
I'll be back for this.
He's just like us. Like, I think Andrade and Malakai Black get this, and I think that they get the pin on Cody.
Okay. Big shout out to Mounties Corner as well. Mounties Corner on YouTube, TikTok. This dude makes some of the funniest videos I've ever seen. If you've never watched it, personal favorite, his Brock Lesnar one. But go watch all of his videos. He's got a good Carmelo one too that I love. So shout out to him. Cody uses Conrad's Manscaper. Boo! Rob, you want to talk about this one? Get into it, brother.
All right, so we're sticking on the subject of Cody.
Yeah.
We went to that Rochester show a few weeks ago. This was the only man in there cheering for Cody. That man was despised. It was hilarious. My problem with Cody goes back to the Anthony Ogogo feud, but going past that, a few weeks ago I was at work watching Rampage, and after that, an episode of Rose to the Top came on.
Why did you do this to yourself?
Because it made the time go faster where I can go home.
If you guys haven't watched Roads to the Top, it's for me, just for me personally, it's that's where we're at with it.
He and his wife came off as the most unlikable people that I've ever seen. It's like, who would want to be around them, especially her? I think that's where Cody gets most of his hate from, his association with his wife.
Maybe it is Brandy, though. I hear every time Cody gets brought up, but the reason for the hate for Cody is never, there's not a universal, like John Cena, we were like, yeah, he just sucks, you know? That was the universal. He can't wrestle, he sucks, whatever. With Cody, there's not even a real point to it. It's just, I just don't like him. That's usually what it is. And shout out to Jesse. Jesse saying, I love Cody.
Some people say he has the Bret Hart syndrome where he buys into his own hype too much.
Maybe. Jesus, I'm going to agree. I got Andrade and Malakai winning. Did you give your prediction?
I did not, but I'm going to go with Pac and Cody.
You weirdo.
I know.
Okay.
And it's going to hinge on two things for me. If Cody comes out with Brandy, he's going to lose just so he can have his breakdown in front of his wife. If he doesn't, if he just comes out and focuses on the match and not his long ass entrance.
Are you gonna feel bad for Robert? Is the only person I want you guys to know that never feels bad for Arn Anderson.
Robert,
I did. He's the only person that never feels bad for Arn Anderson getting his ass
because he always starts it.
Arn grabs somebody first, and they're like, "Yeah, we got to beat your asshole, man." He's like, "Well, you shouldn't have did that, Arn.
You should have been talking shit."
Oh my goodness!
No, I'm not gonna feel bad for Arn.
I
just hope he doesn't fall again.
At the end of the day, if Cody loses, it's all his fault anyways. So
it's
always what I said. You can pull everything back to the line blame Cody. It's almost like when they had Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, anyone but you. This is like the bigger theme of like AEW stuff. Anything you want to pull out, you can go back and say, it's actually kind of Cody's fault that this is happening.
It's so weird. Cody started out as like Sting for them though. Like he was like the red, white, and blue, the hero. And then that Go feud is when it like started. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, he just took it to a level that was
that 5-minute promo about
healing
healing the world and my interracial daughter and blah blah. Like nobody cares about that.
he took it to a level it didn't need to go, and as soon as he did that, everyone was like, all right, this is done. We want something different now.
Logic cares.
We're past the 10-minute mark, right?
Yeah.
Fuck off, Cody.
Cody, I, on behalf of owning everything pro wrestling, appreciate you and everything that you do.
Oh, I like Cody. I just enjoyed the joke of blame Cody. So yeah, RTR is good with you too, but I'm gonna hop in on the joke. So
at this point, you've done it to yourself. Let's get into.
You give your prediction?
Yeah, I already said. Team Zelina is winning this, and I feel it's right. I really want. Actually, you know what? Let me get back into this real quick. Bringing the match back up. How do you guys feel about this House of Black stable that's been rumored? Because I think this would be a perfect time if you're going to bring in a Brody King. Put me and Casey talk about this all the time. Can we please put the Butcher and the Blade with him? He has a look, and there's a group of people that you could put with him that it will elevate them. Even Abaddon, you can humanize Abaddon with him, and then you can put her on television more, I think. Because the zombie shit you can't use all the time.
Just as long as you get him away from the Hardy family office, I'm good with that.
Oh, dude.
I have an extra layers, you know. I have an extra layer on this House of Black thing. I just thought about it yesterday and kind of like threw it to some of my admins over here at RTR. But what if we end up like this is, not going to happen at Full Gear, but I'm just saying direction wise. What if we got Bray in as joining the House of Black rather than him being a leader of something? Or huge on his own, he's just like a big cornerstone of the House of Black. It can always eventually lead to him being on his own thing, but I feel like that would be a really cool way to bring him in, and also it'd be like Wyndham now, but the Bray Wyatt that we knew in the character-wise, but also it could integrate him into the AEW world better than just like this sharp distinction of like something entirely different.
Yeah, I like it. The most interesting thing I think with Wyndham would be, or Bray, whatever you want to call him at this point. I think the most interesting thing you could do with him is what character does he want to play? Does he go brand new? Does he bring back the, the cult leader type of Bray? Or does he go back to the Fiend? I personally prefer the cult leader out of all of them. I thought it was just scary. Like, to me, it's scarier when there's some dude rambling and preaching about something. I'm like, man, he really believes this, and he's just talking that shit. Like, even though we're all like, you're crazy, bro.
Yeah, if we're gonna bring back a character like that, I want the Bray Wyatt when he was with Eli Cottonwood.
Yes. People don't remember that. That was early NXT. Yeah, Bray that was like sinister stuff. BJ brings up a good point too, though. I think like Brody King, the Butcher and the Blade, like it would just work so much better, and it just makes more sense. Hardy Family Office is the weirdest stable. I like Private Party with Matt Hardy, love it, but then you have to fit in. If you don't fit in, you got to go.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's why I think like with the House of Black, you've kind of got like Malakai being like the dark priest of it type of deal, and then you'd have Brody be the heavy muscle. And, Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny and maybe Abaddon all being like followers of it. But then you could bring in, Wyndham as, I call him the enforcer, not necessarily the muscle, but he's the guy that's right underneath Malakai that's helping with the preaching and helping with the motive and helping rally the team underneath him.
The capo.
Yeah. You could do it. It could work, especially if the big payoff is the match between them in the end. That could work. And people are asking about how do we feel about Andrade going to the dark side. I think it works with Andrade's character too, because he's all about himself getting, and he'll spend the money to get whatever help he needs. Butcher and Blade are about the money, but I think they're also on that dark. You could walk the line with a lot of this, is what I'm saying.
He's like a dark mercenary or something.
Danhausen can only join the House of Black once they become baby faces. There is no Danhausen in there until after.
He's very nice, but he's also very evil.
Very.
He needs
evil.
all the monies.
Yeah, because
and the blimp.
He's injured right now, so make sure you donate to Danhausen. Danhausen, we love you here at Everything Pro Wrestling, so get well, my friend. Let's keep it moving here. We spent a lot of time on that one. Let's get into, where do we want to go?
The trios match.
Let's do the trios. I like that. Let's talk this trios match. We've got the Super Click spelled with a Q because they're edgy versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian. What disrespect to Marco Stunt that he can't ever be on these matches. What's up, Sonny? Thank you for joining us. But very, very different.
See, with Marco, I don't feel it's disrespectful, but they know he's a liability when the match actually means something. I know that's terrible to say, but
you SOB.
Who would you rather have as your partner?
No,
Christian or Marco?
Christian, 100%. But it just feels wrong. Like he's part of the group. He's just the mascot. I feel like more than anything else with them.
Let's say you don't see Benny the Bull out there helping the Bulls win.
Damn.
I'm just saying. You say he's the mascot.
BJ, take this one over, please.
He's being the mascot and the weapon, the human weapon.
Yeah.
I feel for Marco on that same level though. Like Marco's never getting the shot, never getting the opportunity. But when it comes to this match, it's gonna be chaotic. Lots of crazy moves as we come to expect, but they also Jurassic Express and the Bucks have shown that they do a lot of innovative and different stuff together in previous matches. So I think it's just going to be even more amped up with it being a 6-man. But I look at Adam Cole picking up the win for the Super Click.
We're back to this joke. Marco Stunt is behind Luchasaurus in the graphic. Sure. He's behind one of those gears. I think the Super Click is taking this. Is Nick Jackson injured? Rumor is he was hurt really bad, but it was a bruise to the bone, which hurts like a mother if you've never had it. But I think he's going to be able to wrestle. He was cleared on BTE.
They're going to tape the hell out of that foot.
Yeah. Rob, what you got in this one?
I'm going to take the Super Click with assistance from Bobby Fish. They're going to build off of what they were teasing last night. There's no dispute. This is the era of the Super Click. It's going to plant that little seed. Because Adam Cole doesn't forget.
Listen, I'm going to say this too, right now, since you brought it up. If Kyle O'Reilly stays in NXT, he's a fool. He cannot stay in NXT. He either gets the big money contract that he can't refuse, or I'm gone, baby, and I'm coming to reform Red Dragon. You just have to do it at this point.
I'm leaving, and I'm taking what the hell, Von Wagner with me.
No. Keep Von Wagner there. I'm okay with him keeping Von Wagner. Actually, you could probably leave him off in the woods.
Who was it saying he looks like a thumb?
That was me off air. I listen, bro. I love the Beverly Brothers, and I don't know, man. I don't want to go off on NXT in this. I'm gonna be different in this one. I'm gonna take Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. Here's my thing. This goes back to the Darby Allin point. How many times are we gonna look at Jungle Boy and have him lose? He lost to MJF. He's lost to Adam Cole a bunch of times. He needs to get his revenge, but it looks bad though, because if you follow, this is that WWE bullshit. If you follow that WWE logic, Cole got the concerto. They messed up stuff with him, but I feel like to knock the Bucks down a peg, I'm keeping my choice. I hear what you guys are saying. It probably makes more sense, but I'm going with my heart on this one. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Christian Cage. The Christian Cage turn is happening. I don't know when, but I think he's going to turn on him.
I disagree. I think Jungle Boy's going to be the one to turn, and we're getting Hollywood Jack Berry.
Facial hair does equal heel, and so does chest hair. Manscaped does not like that.
He's going to tie his hair back, put in a little douchey man bun. He's going to just...
Hey, Anna.
He's going to rescue her from those 7 guys.
Oh, my gosh. Yo,
he's just going to be a Hollywood douche. It's going to be great.
We got Mountie saying we need more Pillman Jr. I agree with that. Get Brian Pillman back on TV. I haven't seen him and Griff Garrison teaming since they did like the split since the Grand Slam show.
Yeah, Griff's more involved with the vlog crew.
Right? Adam Cole, what a mark. He should get a haircut. Oh my goodness. Stop it.
Wait for who? Who is
be
that?
Be a mouth for Bearcat Lee, as I wrote.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, not his idea either. Jurassic Express wins. Super Clicks winning. Danny Barron says, "What's up, Danny? Thank you for joining us." I think it's supposed to be Budge, not Bulge. Bludge. Red Dragon. Buffalo Bob.
Is that me?
I don't know. Buffalo Bob in AEW. Oh, he's calling Von Wagner Buffalo Bill.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God. Curtis John says Super Click wins unless Jungle Boy turns on Christian. Dang, bro, that would hurt.
It puts the prospect in the PC or else it gets released again.
Terrible. Imagine Jungle Boy cutting his hair for a Hollywood gimmick. He could. People are just yelling Budge now in the chat. Jungle Boy pins Cole. I love it. Budge. Yeah. So that's our predictions for that one. We'll see what happens from all of this. I'm more interested in the Red Dragon stuff now a little bit here. Rob, was this one of the matches you thought that would be better? Or was it BJ who brought that up? One of the matches. Have we touched on the match that you thought would have more hype?
So far, the MJF and Darby one kind of like was lower than what I felt it was going to be. This Super Click versus Jurassic Express match feels about right. It doesn't feel super important, but it feels like, yeah, it fits. Like, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Fair point. Let's get into this one. We're just going in order of those matches that we wanted to see. The AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. It's been a great tournament. We had some twists and turns in here. It was supposed to be Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, but that got put on hold. Moxley, I hope you're doing well. If you ever hear this, how and why you'd be listening to me, I have no clue because you know more about wrestling than me. But this right here is going to be an interesting matchup. And I thought Miro was the perfect person to slide right in there. As soon as they were like, yeah, we need another person, I'm like, Miro. Why? Because God said that it's my birthright to win this, and I need to be in it. And I was like, it's that simple because of his gimmick, God's favorite champion. God presented this to me, but he hasn't done the work that Danielson's done. And Danielson's story has been he can beat you in many different ways in the match.
I love how all his matches so far, he's always ended them different.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows how good he is.
The Tequila Sunrise got a big pop out of me yesterday. BJ, me and Derek, we were just doing all the Conan lines, like, hey. But go ahead, Rob. What do you think of this matchup? Who you taking?
I'm gonna go with Miro. And reason what you like you just said, God's will be done.
Yeah, that's true. It's what it is, right? At this point, I don't know. Bryan and Punk and these new guys have to lose eventually. We had a lot of undefeated streaks all going at once. What do you got, BJ, in this one?
I also feel that it's going to be Miro, but it's because, playing off of what you just said with the winning streaks, but also for one of my predictions later on in the night, I think Miro would be the next really big challenger. Like you would, if Danielson wins, I almost called him Bryanson again. If Danielson wins, you're going to get a really good, a really technical match. But you could say, oh, okay, this will be a nice competition. But if Miro wins, then your next challenger is someone who is going to try to just beat you down. And I feel like that might tell a better story after the main event title match that's taking place at this show.
Okay. I'm going to go make it the trifecta again. I'm taking Miro as well for the victory. I don't know. Derek took it as Miro wins by KO. Like he knocks Bryan out with like a kick or something, just beats him down. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but I do feel like, could you see Bryan tapping? I think he's selfless enough to do it, though.
Nah.
You think someone?
I think he passes out. I don't think he taps.
So Tony puts the kibosh on that. It could be good, man. This is going to be a really good match, but I got Miro winning by hook or by crook. Miro's going to get the victory in this, and I agree with what BJ was alluding to. We'll probably get more into that, but it only makes sense that he's the right person to do the next thing.
The line on that promo. you're not going to see your wife so that I can see mine. Whew. It was like, all right.
You'll be dropping
All right,
gems, man.
Yeah, and some people are believing that CJ Perry could possibly show up soon. That is the former Lana, for those who don't know. Karate Man versus Danielson on Dark. Book it. It could happen. It could happen. Miro wins, but CJ Perry will make a debut, some people are saying. I can see it happening too.
And is she doing some choreography work on some new movie or something?
Maybe. I haven't been keeping up with her.
I don't know her schedule right now. I think she's doing some choreography job.
I see some people. So before we had who had posted that it has to be Bryan. I believe it was Pro Wrestling Shoot said it. Bryan has to take this dude. I would love to see MJF ending up in a feud with Bryan for the AEW World Title, ending in Danielson putting over MJF. It could happen. I think we're going to get that eventually. There's a lot of time in between these two that you just don't want to bust all these feuds out. Going with Danielson and Miro finally being forced to submit. Okay. Yeah. Interesting thoughts.
I'm with Ray on that. I think maybe we'll, like, if I can like pinpoint a specific thing, if I was the booker of this, Miro, when he goes for game over, he has the initial form of it, but he's been pulling people back to where they can't like escape. I think maybe that will be like the crux of the match is he keeps locking it in on him, but he can't turn him over without Danielson like countering. So he finally gets it in and pulls it back, and Danielson has no other option.
This could be really good, and it could tell a future big story between these two. I think this is going to be a hell of a match as one of them going into this. Let's get into some of the other title matches here. Let's talk about Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Ty Conti. This is going to be an interesting matchup here. Ty Conti is getting a big stage to finally show out on, and I think she's improved since her time in NXT. Like, I think she's been
so much better. At least
she's great, and I don't know if that's just from working with Dustin or a bunch of people, but she deserves the spot in my opinion here. BJ, I'm gonna go with you first.
Well, I'll get this out of the way first. I think Ty Conti has grown so much, like, since coming to AEW. It's very telling that she was in a developmental system, and every time that you did happen to see her, she seemed very green and experienced, or would, slip up here and there. But that's NXT. That's where, that's where you're learning. But then she comes over to AEW and she works main roster, she works elevation, she works dark, and that's all that like they do minus just straight up training. And she's gotten worlds better just from that. Like being out there in the experience than to be inside of like the performance center developmental thing. That doesn't always happen, I know, but like it's kind of like surprising to see where she's come that fast. I really like Ty Conti. I think she is definitely a future champion, if not a future TBS champion. But tonight, or Full Gear's not the night. Britt Baker, DMD.
I feel like this is the easiest match to call.
Yeah, this is my like stamp. If I was like, name one match you want to bet on, I'm like, right here, I got it.
It's because of what you said earlier. Thunder Rosa is going to be the one to take that belt off her eventually.
Yep,
I agree with that.
So any challenger that comes beforehand is just going to go down.
I like that.
Lockjaw for the dub.
Yeah, I'm taking Dr. Britt Baker for the win, but I do think we're going to get interference in this because that has been the story. It'll be like, oh, if there was only one of them, I would have beat her, but there's two, so there's always this numbers game, and the ref can't boot them out fast enough.
But she does have Anna Jay and Thunder Rosa backing her up too, so
there we go. And maybe that plays into it. There's a little confusion, and Britt Baker's winning this. Period. Point blank. End of story.
To draw back to your buy-in, this is again like a booking thing. If we talked like how one of them might walk out, Jamie Hayter walks out. Jamie Hayter's still fresh to be an interference later on in the title match. And so Thunder Rosa's not. So therefore, Anna Jay might come to make the save, but then both of them are still outnumbered because of Rebel and Jamie.
right? And we've got some great questions I'm going to get to in 1 second here. Jesse says, I feel the match is a given. DMD is retaining. No way she loses the title. Only title I see changing hands Saturday is possibly the world title. More on that momentarily from us. And he also brought up, Bryan said, the quote, he's coming to F everybody up. I can't see him losing to a former WWE guy. If he loses, it'll be an up-and-coming AEW talent. And something that I think that's interesting to a lot of people. A lot of people are asking, will Okada show up? I say no based on the geographic issues that this will present.
He's working earlier that day, right? Or is it Friday he's working?
I don't know what time they're recording it, but he's going to be in San Jose and Minneapolis. It's just no.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be able to get him over. But that's not to say that Dynamite won't have a few surprises.
Wee, you know I'm down.
I'm on the stateside, but
Yeah. And Rocky, I was trying to point this out yesterday without saying it. Rocky wasn't just there to wrestle a match.
he's a consigliere.
He's the man who makes these moves happen. I ignored that when you put that in there yesterday on purpose because he's the man who makes things happen. So it's gonna be good. Jesus says he's got Dr. Britt Baker winning this. Concur. Looking for a match we haven't talked about because I jumped all out of order from my stuff. Let's talk the tag titles because there's nothing wrong with some good old-fashioned tag team wrestling. We've got the AEW tag team champions, the Lucha Bros, taking on the tag team champions, FTR. I don't remember who said that first, but I was in tears. The AAA tag champs, FTR. But I like that they have it feels like each other's belts, basically. But I feel FTR could be a team that's the first two-time AEW tag champs. Not yet, but I think it could happen with them. Rob, I'm going to give it to you first, man.
You just heard my prediction. Lucha Brothers are winning. And the only reason is because I saw some weird Twitter interactions where FTR were talking about, I wish we could talk about this match. Give me a year and a half. We'll never have these belts
with the
again.
Bucks?
Yeah.
I feel like they do that shit all the time, though, with them. And I'm like, are they working us just to, what are you going to say?
Us, but I don't see them changing hands tonight or Saturday.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just a jerk, but I'm like,
you're definitely a jerk.
Well, what are you going to say? Thank you. What more are you going to say about this, though? I feel like the Bucks and FTR need to happen again. It's just got to be the right timing. And when it does, FTR is winning.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. And then you can have the final big blow-off match eventually down the line. Right. Patience.
But the reason I'm picking the Lucha Bros is because in this feud, FTR's had the upper hand each time. So you can't just have them looking like chumps the whole time and then just going in to lose.
Cunning heels. Yeah. BJ, what do you think in this one?
So this is one of the matches that I thought would be okay, but I'm actually more interested in now. So, this one where MJF and Darby kind of went down, these guys elevated to a higher level. And that being said, I could see this even being the opener.
Yeah, that it could be a banger, man. Lucha Bros definitely have we're going to be doing our end of the year award soon. Me and Rob have to talk because match of the year is going to be freaking crowded this year. So we're going to have to try to figure out what works, what doesn't work. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. They crushed it at the last pay-per-view. That was one of my favorite matches on that last show. The cage match was great. And the Lucha Bros have put in the work. I don't know, man. This is going to be tough to call. Did you give your prediction yet, BJ?
I did not. I'm going to go with the Lucha Bros as well. But if there's any one thing I want to see from FTR, it's a repeat of what Dax did on Dynamite to Pac. I want to see that rebound Liger bomb. That was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, that was just nice. He got stacked right on his neck.
I dare pop it out yesterday.
Yeah. That was really good. So I'm going to take Lucha Bros as well, just based on they just won the titles. They had a great match. I haven't seen them do anything that would be like, oh, let's take the belts off of them. But maybe this is a storytelling element. I think these two can work magic with each other. If they've been given the time, they've gotten to go in the ring with each other, I really think they could do something great. FTR is one of the best tag teams in modern wrestling today. They don't get enough credit, I feel, and I don't hear their names enough when it comes to tag wrestling.
Bonus predictions. Do Tully and Abrahantes go at it tomorrow or Saturday?
If they do, Tully has to kick his ass, I feel.
Abrahantes is getting that spike pile driver.
I won't ruin it. I won't ruin the illusion. Some things I don't say on the show because I don't want to ruin stuff for people as far as like the illusion goes with people. But Abrahantes is the man, so I can't wait to see what happens with that. Derek K, what's up, Derek? He says Lucha Bros win and then attack someone. Someone attacked them, and then it's best friends with Rocky. Ooh, and one other Chaos member. Maybe that could happen, Derek. Chaos, they brought Chaos up for a reason yesterday. They wouldn't just be bringing up Chaos and writing Chaos the way they did. Something's going down soon, I think.
Did you see Trent's tweet about the Chaos thing?
No, I didn't see that. I finally watched. So I saw the video right before I started the show last night, and then I didn't go back to it until after. This morning, I finally watched it. I was like, Rob brought it up yesterday. He was like, "Weren't Chuck and Trent already in the group?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then Chuck Taylor's like, "Yeah, I already have this towel. What are you talking about?"
Yeah. So Trent tweeted something, just joking as he always does, but talking about like, you guys might want to be sure that that's okay with New Japan, since me and Chuck screwed them over in the 2018 New Japan incident.
Yeah. But new leadership now. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's different. Ray brings up a good question. Chances of the Briscoes debut after the match. I don't know what their contract status was.
I think FTR goes over to GCW first.
If you want what?
FTR yeah, that's taught me. That's taught me too. Like, whoa, all right.
Oh, you remember because it was a few weeks ago the Briscoes went over to GCW.
Bro, I'm
calling them
these
out.
WWE former people or AEW guys are gonna get glass bottles thrown at them like eventually. Like, these people are crazy.
I see it, man.
I don't want this trash. Matt Cardona sucks.
He does suck.
Chances of the Briscoes, that would be good. I think if you're gonna grab the Briscoes, whoever wants to use them, get them now, because they've been around for a long time. They got a lot of mileage on their bodies. And I think you take advantage of it now if you want it.
Them boys still got a lot left.
Conrad is that guy to miss something big. I'm not missing nothing, brother. I'm down with these predictions. It's going to happen. FTR and GCW, I'm down with it. People are liking it. Pizza cutters, yeah, I don't know about all that now.
Nah.
Jim Cornette have I don't even want to think of it. His head would explode.
FTR would come in and immediately be with like Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Just like calling him uncultured and the death match and everything. I can see that actually. Now I kind of want to, but I don't know. At the same time, I don't want the glass bottles at him. Like,
right. Yeah, people are loving that. Whoever thought of that, Ray, good thing that you brought that up, and then people are bringing it up. Okay, I like it. Good point at mileage filling up on the bump card. Agreed. So let's talk real quick about a match that it won my heart over. And it's because I'm a CM Punk fan, but I'm going to say this. If you have not read that Eddie Kingston Players Tribune article, bro, I was about to go to a doctor's appointment and I was about to cry before I walked in the room. I didn't want the doctor to be like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" Like, reading that touched my heart.
Scared of needles.
I have it saved. I haven't got to read it yet. When it came out, I was like
read
in
it.
the
Let
middle
me know
of
by
chaos.
the time you're at the end. If you don't have to cry, but if you even feel the little the water, let me know. But
all right, we'll do.
Eddie Kingston, that after reading that, I'm gonna say this: CM Punk wins. Because I didn't go first in any of these. CM Punk wins this. But Eddie Kingston better get a fucking title before he retires. I'm just going to say it. Like, give that man something. And I hope he has a job for life. Like, let this dude cut promos. Let him be a producer. Kingston has value. And I'm glad he got to show this. This is going to be great, though. I really think you let these two go out there. I kind of want to see an old school All Japan match. I want to see a lot of Saito suplexes and Punk's getting dropped on the dome.
I do agree with you. Punk is winning this, but I just want to see Eddie Kingston come out with the Puerto Rican pleather pants.
Oh, the old school Eddie Kingston. That's like Ring of Honor. If you guys never watched Eddie back in the day, those were the pants he used to always come out to. You can find stuff on YouTube, I bet. Man, that'd be crazy. This is when you talk shit about me. I was wearing these.
What song he used to come out to? That Nas one, The Cross? No, that was the Briscoes.
He's a big fan of a lot of the hip hop themes. Like, I guess he was playing World War III to like hype people up backstage, and I'm like, I'm old now. So when I used to listen to hip hop, I remember that song and I love that beat. So they used to be like, "Oh, you gotta rap to this beat automatically," and kids there are like, the hell's wrong with this dude? Like, turn this off. This is old. But Kingston's the man, bro. BJ, what do you got on this matchup?
This match, 8 minutes on Rampage, like made this in the top 3 matches of this entire show for me. Like the way that I describe this is they taught class during that 8 minutes. So like everyone in the back needed to be watching that. That's your lesson for like the month. That's how it's done. I think it's going to be really good. I think Eddie Kingston's going to like shine just as big as he did even with Danielson, but I think Punk's taking it.
Hey, shout out to B Radio in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you leaving the thumbs up. Cornette's going to be their manager in GCW. No one would survive.
I don't think Cornette's ever leaving his house again.
I would recommend he does it as well, going to that show. It's going to be Royal Road. Oh, shit. I haven't heard that in a long time. Punk getting a preview of the G1 next year. Interesting. Punk wins, Jesus says. Eddie Kingston will be a good ambassador for AEW, even a good trainer for Mike promos for the new cats in the Dustin Academy if you wanted to. Modern day Kobashi Misawa vibes. Ray, good point. Like I said, I want to see some suplexes where people are going in, man. Punk said he's going to put Eddie to sleep. Yeah, it was such a great line because shit like that happens all the time. I was one of those like kids where shit would go down like that, where someone would be smiling. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck are you laughing at, bro? Well, you laughing and you're just starting a fight. And it's like, dude, I wasn't laughing at you, but it's just a circumstance. It's just going to happen. I'm sorry.
I can attest to that. He was a hostile kid.
Yeah, thanks. The high school days, I'm saying, but I love it. And then Punk was smiling, and he walks over, and someone's trying to put the mic in his face, like, yo, get the mic out my face, dog. You got a problem? And I love that Ruby Soho's been there to like break it up, like, oh no, we're all baby faces and friends. Don't, please. And I'm like, yo, someone's gonna get beat up. And Eddie Kingston still dresses like me, and I love it. Like, we're in 05. I'm wearing these big ass hoodies. I'm wearing the Timbs. I don't care. This is how I dress. This is what I do. I just love it, man. It's gonna be a great match. Elijah says, Conrad, imagine Eddie Kingston beating Punk clean in 10 seconds. Chill. Like Sheamus did to Bryan. Which time? No. Modern day Dreamer versus Sandman? It could be. Let's see how this turns out. We don't know a lot. Like BJ said, they sold us on a match with one promo and pull-aparts. And we're like, yep, yeah. I'm in. All in. I'm buying it. That was the moment I was like, yep, take my $50. You got it. You've won me over, AEW. But now it is time for the main event. What?
No, it's not.
What did I miss?
Inner Circle versus the American Top Team.
Oh, I was trying to skip that, I think. Inner Circle versus Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and American Top Team with Dan Lambert.
And Andrei Arlovski and Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, those two are credible, though. So
and Paige Van Zandt will probably be out there. That's a treat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? So Inner Circle are in this match, bro. I got Inner Circle winning. I don't even want to spend too much time on this. I feel like Dan Lambert powerbomb Chris Jericho through a table. Like, come on.
And he gave him a Boston Crab.
Man.
Has originated in championship wrestling for Florida. This is a Boston Crab.
I want people to know we started the chant of "shut the f up" to him and piece of shit. We were chanting every dude. They had to have censored us on TNT in Rochester. It was bad. I was just like, oh, this guy sucks. And we had to remember it was like no cursing. I'm like, we're all about to get kicked out the arena when Dan Lambert starts talking, so it's over.
You gotta wonder how the TNT or Turner Network executives got to feel about all this swing on their program.
It's good for the ratings. Good for the ratings, good for the gander. BJ, who you got winning this?
Inner Circle. Okay, so objectively with the American Top Team stuff, I get it. I get that, this is outside of the story. I get that Dan Lambert is a huge wrestling fan. I get that, he's working with them, the cross exposure into MMA stuff and vice versa. I'm okay with Dos Santos from what I saw of him in his match back on, was it Rampage or Dynamite? I think it was Rampage.
I think it was Rampage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I normally don't care very much about MMA crossover into wrestling. I'm not an MMA fan, and so I'm a wrestling fan. So when like they come over, I'm like, okay, whatever. So this story's been kind of meh to me. And Dan Lambert, it's got to be something with his tone and his voice, because if Jim Cornette was there and saying the exact same things, I'd be all into this. I would be like, oh yeah, I hope like Cornette gets his, and oh, he said this, and oh, you know. But for some reason, with Dan Lambert's voice, when he starts, I'm immediately like, I'm done with this.
It's turned the channel heat.
Yeah. It's not I'm annoyed he's a heel. It's I do not care what you have to say. I don't like your voice. So this one is like the least important match for me on this entire show. I think Dan Lambert gets put through a table as payback, but I think Jericho hooks the lion tamer, not the walls, on him, because where he said it's a Boston Crab, the lion tamer is slightly different, and so to show that mine is different.
I don't know if Lambert can bend like that. Like if he did it to me, bro, you would hear every bone in my back pop. Like I'd be done. What happened to you?
I always call the lion tamer the big brother lock. You got a little brother, I got a little brother. We always did it, right? Tap out, now let go.
Tap out, now let go. He's tapping. And you just hold it in for a second. Yes, baby.
Nah, I feel like I'm the only one that feels like this is just a vehicle for Jake Hager versus Junior Dos Santos in a Bellator match.
It could be.
And the opposite of BJ, I am a huge MMA fan, but I don't care about this at all.
Yeah, I just want this to be over. I feel like the Inner Circle are just spinning their circles. Like, what are we doing here? Where are we going with this? Why is Sammy the TNT champ? I don't know. I just want something else to happen with them. And I feel like Santana and Ortiz are being held back for some reason. And I know that they're going to eventually get a title shot, but it's like, dude, let's move forward with this, because they were on a great roll going into that Grand Slam and they never got anything.
You know what's funny too? I was watching Sammy's vlog the other day, and they did the thing where they were doing the signing, and a fan brought some replicas of the AEW Tag Team Championship to the Santana Ortiz. Like, are we having a glimpse into the future? Nah, not in this lifetime. Like, I don't know if they just believe they're not going to get it. They're going to be held. I don't know if they feel the same way we're feeling, that they're being held back. But
yeah,
it's kind of telling.
But you're associated with Jericho too. It's a double-edged sword. Ricky Glow in the chat says, "What if Tom Lawler debuts on Full Gear?" Conrad and BJ. Rob's here too. But what I don't know. What do you think?
Would he join the Men of the Year?
Maybe. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky need something from this too. Like,
isn't Tom Lawler still doing stuff in New Japan Strong too?
I think so, but his relationship.
I was gonna say, isn't his like major deal up right now?
Yeah, MLW, he's done. Ricky put in there.
But it's interesting that you were talking like the Inner Circle just spinning, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, didn't Jericho say something about like they were going to do something where they all went their own separate ways, and actually it was Tony?
Yeah, they teased
that
it.
Said, no, I want you guys to stay together for a little bit. So like they were all okay with the kind of disbanding.
Yeah. I think Tony just likes the groups because it keeps a lot of people on television and relevant. So it's like, oh, there he is. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
It makes sense for why he wanted to keep them together. I wouldn't have broke them up either if I had the choice.
Well, I mean, I would have let him do kind of like what the Pinnacle's doing right now. They're all like doing separate things. They're not heavily mentioning the Pinnacle as a faction. They're mentioning them as their own separate entities, and just would have kept that. But maybe this is like one last big Inner Circle thing.
Hurrah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Conrad will be pissed if King Mo shows up. King Mo? I haven't heard that name since I watched TNA.
It's so overrated to me.
No comment. All right, now I can do it. It's time for the main event. Kenny Omega, World Champion, Hangman Page. We've been talking about this shit for so long. It's in the background. It's on the thumbnail. It's the world title match. It's what we've all been kind of wanting to see. It's like I said, it's the background behind me. That's what it is. BJ, we've waited long enough for this. You talk about layers. You talk about storytelling. Talk about
This story.
Talk about
This story is the story of AEW right now. Like, it truly is. Like, carrying from Hangman, he was in the first main event of the first show and lost to Jericho to be the first champ. And that was his entire goal. And from the minute he lost that and every attempt to try to get focus while he was in the Elite, it all just fell apart. And he realized that he didn't want to be – everyone else had gold or could get gold except for him. And so he didn't want that. He was going to go out and rebuild on his own. And then it became like this big story of self-doubt. And, you know, we all know now over the course of the Dark Order and when they fought last year at Full Gear and the, you know, all of that coming back. This story has been probably one of the best stories in wrestling for the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's up there. I would say it's up there with like Gargano, Ciampa. Like I can remember some really good storylines, and this is up there, I think.
And they've done it in a way where, like, okay, so New Japan, we had like Kenny and Okada being a big story and overcoming, but they met each other 4 times in the span of like 2 years in singles matches. That's not including multi-man stuff. Hangman and Kenny have met each other one-on-one one other time.
Right.
And so they've told this story over the entire existence of AEW, but with so much like actual story and events, and yet it's still a promotion that's based off the action. So like, that's crazy to me that they've done that. But I have been ready for this. I knew when Hangman lost to Kenny, I really thought last year at Full Gear, we were going to see the first person kick out of the one-wing angel in AEW, and it'd be Hangman, and it didn't happen. So now we're 1 full year later. This is the moment that it happens, and Hangman wins and becomes AEW champion.
I'm throwing it to you, Rob.
The man above me. I'm going to go with Hangman. I'll say this. I do agree. He's probably going to be the first one to kick out of the one-wing angel in AEW. If you're not going to have him win, though, don't have that happen.
Can't.
You can't do it.
If Kenny Omega wins, how many hearts will you hear break in that arena? Like how?
Mine at home. Mine at home.
Have you guys heard Bully Ray says that he would put Omega over? That would break my heart to like just know like we were this close to getting it.
Yeah,
there are alternate routes you can take with this, but I feel like if you do this, it'll be too little, too late when he finally does get it.
I agree. I agree 100%.
This is the strike while the iron's hot. You can't play around with this. We saw what happened to, I'm saying names, Ryback, Braun Strowman. You have to do it while they're hot or it changes everything. And people are like, nah, I don't believe in that guy no more.
Last year, I thought was the time. Like, oh, Hangman's going to surprise him and get the win. And it didn't happen. And it was because, oh, we're building to something bigger. There isn't anything bigger between these two than this moment. So like if as you said, strike right now, it's done. And you're not going to believe that Hangman can actually get there. I don't care about the outside interference. I don't care about any potential of cheating to have Kenny win. No, it can all be done, but Hangman still has to be the person to walk out of there with the title.
Bob Williams has come in and said, you guys will hate me, and I'm going to tell you why. Bob, let us know. Why will we hate you? Hangman ain't Coda. He ain't kicking out of nothing. He might grab the rope like Mox, but that's about it. Kenny ain't winning. Okay, Bully Ray says a lot of things. Umaga. What that was random. Bob says, what if BJ and Conrad, the Swerve, Don Callis paid Dark Order money to cost Hangman Page the match now? That will be a heartbreaking moment.
See, that's too dusty.
Yeah, that's dusty. I can't. It could happen. Like, I'm not gonna put it out of the realm of possibility, but like, I already get enough of those moments, you know, to quote JR, as he says in these moments, "Oh, son of a bitch." Like, that's exactly how I felt last night with Don Callis being the camera guy. So, like, I don't want that again at the end of the week in the same situation. Like, we got that moment. We got that. We don't need, like, now maybe if you get, you know, Hangman feeling on top of the world and that happens after he's won the belt, oh, yeah, that's an extra, like, dynamic and layer, but not in this moment. This moment has to be Hangman.
Cody is not coming back as Stardust or Midnight Rider. Knock it off, Eric. Yeah, a lot of people saying they got Hangman winning. Listen, bro, I just want to see that buckshot lariat, and I want Kenny to sell it like Kenny would. Kenny could have time off after this. Kenny could come back and wrestle Okada. He could come back, and I'll even take a Ishii. I'll take Ishii on Dynamite. I'll take it, bro. I'll take it.
See, the one thing I'm anticipating most with seeing this match is that moment when he does hit that buckshot lariat, and the crowd counting along 1, 2, 3. You're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that right here.
Yeah.
And I want the Earl Hebner count too, not the regular. I need the 1, 2.
Nope, I disagree because I don't want a ref bump in this match.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do a ref.
I'm assuming it's gonna
bump.
be Aubrey. So,
and I don't think Aubrey's taking a bump yet in the match like that. I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
Jericho was about to soccer.
I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let him catch me. Azan, I'm done. BJ, tell Conrad to go live this Saturday. Should be alive. I will be live after the pay-per-view. I don't do the watch-alongs because if you guys saw that, you will be either laughing or watching Derek sleep half the time.
I thought of that, but I don't know if I'm gonna start. I don't know if I'm going to start a watch along for pay-per-views quite yet. I know I'm going to stick with the Dynamites like I did last night. But, yeah, this is one that immediately crossed my mind. Like, yeah, I kind of want to do it just for reaction's sake. But at the same time, I want to sit and soak and enjoy this as much as possible at the end. So I'll be with you guys afterwards. Like, I'll be in the chat, in the comments, talking along with you guys afterwards about how excited I am that Hangman won or completely devastated because some bullshit happened.
This is why I hate this show with this company. Why do I watch this shit? But yeah, I hope you guys can join us all on Saturday after the show goes off the air. We will be live. Rob, sadly,
I got a question. You think this goes past midnight?
Yeah, I do. I think it's gonna end right around that time, like right on midnight. Starts at 8, 4 hours. Yeah, it makes sense.
We got the buy-in too, so technically 7:30, right?
Good God Almighty, yes.
See, I don't even care if the show goes long. This is something I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah, when you don't do it every month, it's fine. So I'm down with this. We got a lot of good things coming up in AEW. BJ, promote your stuff real quick. Tell people where they can find you, what you do.
Right now, as you can see behind me, Run the Ropes. It's a little, it's going to be hard to do with the green screen. But anyways, yeah, we're on Facebook at Run the Ropes. Trying to revive back the Twitter a little bit, but right now I've been doing stuff on Twitch at Squiggy Games. If you know, I can type in like the comments underneath this later if anybody wants to follow me there. But I just started doing watch-alongs for Dynamite just last night, my first one. But I'm gonna continue doing those every Wednesday, and I'll be over there doing that. So yeah.
Okay, Rob.
Yeah, you can find me in the Everything Pro Wrestling group on Facebook. I don't normally do social media like that, but hit me up on there.
I appreciate that. And you guys know where you can find us on Twitter at EPW Show. Type in Everything Pro Wrestling, EPW Show on Twitch as well. We're trying to do some more gaming stuff. We're trying to add stuff. We're trying to come up with some new things. So like what you like, show some support, throw me some extra comments in there. I'm just trying to see what works and what doesn't. So some things may be changing. So if you like something, tell me. If you don't like something, tell me. But we're looking forward to Full Gear. We'll have the live review afterwards on Saturday/Sunday, depending on when this ends. And we'll have you guys taken care of. But for myself, Rob, and the man they call BJ, we are out. Thank you for joining us for this preview and predictions. Peace.